who is the 12th Imam and why is it important in our study. Uh, we are not Muslims, but why we're talking about Imams and we're talking about the 12th Imam, what is the importance of we knowing who the 12th Imam is? Good. First of all, we'll look at who he is, and from there, we'll now look at why we want to know who he is or his importance in our study, in our Bible study. Okay, good. When we talk of 12 Imam, what we are talking about is an Imam that, let's begin in this way. We know that the founder of Islam is Prophet Muhammad. Muhammad was the founder. We are not going back to look at where he began and how he grew and all those things. They are not necessary at this moment. But what we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about after his death, what took place. That is what we are now going to talk about. Good. When he founded this Islamic religion, and he was there, what happened was that he didn't actually bring an outline. Let's say some churches call it constitution of how to choose a leader, and that is why mostly it is always good that as a church that have a future, they should have a laid down constitution. Okay, this is how it should be in case the founder is not there, in case God calls the founder to come and rest, what will be the next? If it's not having constitution, if the founder is gone, if you don't know, the the pastors and the followers, the other people, they will not tear the church apart. They will not divide it among themselves. They will not divide it among themselves. Or maybe somebody from somewhere can just claim it and begin to do things that will not bring. I mean, that will not bring favor. That will not favor the church. So it is always good as a church to have it laid down constitution. Good. This is the founder. So this is how it should be. In case I am not there, what will be the procedure for you to choose the next person to lead you? That one is very, very important. So if you have a church without constitution, let it be important. If not, after your death, if you die, if God call you, remember that you are not going to be there forever. Either Christ will come or you definitely die. There are two things. You will not be there forever. If Christ don't come at your time, as at now as I speak, the next 100 years, don't think you will still be alive. How many people live up to that? So if you have a church and Christ don't come within the next 100 years, all of us will be gone. So it is better you put things in order before. That is why the prophet came and told David, sorry, not David, Hezekiah. Hezekiah, put your house in order because your days are up. You are about to die. So put your house in order. So if you don't put your house in order and you go, what happened? Before David died, what happened? He kept things in order for Solomon. So orderly in the church is important. So if things are not in order and you are gone, just know that what you have labored for, what you have labored, the church that you have labored, it will come back to none. It will come back to zero because everybody, if you left, if you go, if you leave, this now be pulling. I want to be the next. This one will pull. I want to be the next. But if the laid down procedure is there, there won't be stress like that. If the laid down procedure and then the constitution is there governing it, and you don't just do the constitution and keep it. The people have to know. The people have to know, and it must start at your time. The constitution should start at your lifetime, so that they will see that okay, the constitution is working. So nobody is above the constitution. So if anybody is coming to do, let's say, I work behind or I beyond the constitution, then the constitution will not allow the person to do that. But if you just do the constitution and say, okay, because I'm the founder, let me keep it. After you have died, that constitution may not work after you are not there. Good. So what happened is that this man, when he founded the Islamic religion, it's like he didn't have constitution of how the next person should be in case he is not there. The one who should lead or the one who should rule. The procedure of choosing. So it was that thing brought a problem. And in his house, his later on in his life, he married a woman called Aisha. He married a woman called Aisha. Aisha was the youngest girl. Some say he was 8 years when he married her. Some say 9 years, but the only thing that he married her when she was a child. So we are not going to talk about that. So that's not important in our study here. So what we are saying is that this Aisha, and then uh, Muhammad was also having what, a daughter, and the daughter name was called Fatima, and Fatima is the daughter of Khadija. If you remember that Khadija, when Khadija was 40 years, that business tycoon, businesswoman, and then he got married to Muhammad married her. If you remember the story, that's why I said we won't go back to all those things. So this daughter, Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad, Fatima, and that of Aisha, the wife, the two of them were having grudges. They were having grudge, fighting all the time at the time of Muhammad's life, when Muhammad was alive. And Muhammad could not resolve it. Muhammad could not resolve it. And there were there are some let's say some conception about their fighting, their struggle, why they were fighting. Some said because Muhammad was having much time with the daughter Fatima, so because of that, Aisha didn't want it that way. Some are also saying that because Fatima was the only daughter of Khadija, so she was holding her in high esteem more than any other person. So because of that, Aisha didn't like it that way. Some are also saying that because what Ali, that is the husband of Fatima, was also close somehow to Muhammad, and because of that, it was also there's so many mysteries and stories about their why they were fighting. But there was a struggle between these two, the daughter and the wife, and this man could not resolve this problem until he died. So he died without being able to resolve it, and that one has brought a long-term effect in the Islamic kingdom, is that brought a long-term effect. That struggle between Fatima and then that of Aisha, the daughter of Muhammad and the last wife of Muhammad, that one has brought it has brought a long-term effect in the Islamic religion, because as at now we have two religions. Sorry, we have two divisions of the Islam. If you trace them back, you are coming back to these two. One will trace back to Aisha line, another one will also trace back to Fatma's line. So we have the Shiites and we have the Sunnis. Are you getting it? We have the Shiite Muslims and we have the Sunnis Muslims. So this division was from the time of Adam. Sorry, the time of Prophet Muhammad. Good. So we are looking at the 12th Imam. Fine. So what I'm saying is that when this man did not lay down the procedure before he died, when he died finished, now they were now to choose Imam, the one who will take over and lead the Islamic religion, the Muslims. So uh, Aisha got married to Ali, and then Ali was from the family of Prophet Muhammad. It was Ali's father who took care of Prophet Muhammad. So if you look at Prophet Muhammad and Ali, they were from the same family, and Ali got married to Prophet Muhammad's daughter. So you see that they are from the same blood. So the daughter and that of maybe the Ali, they are from the same family. Good. And then the Aisha, the wife, the father was called Abu Bakr. The wife father was called Abu Bakr. So when Muhammad died finished, what happened was that Abu Bakr was also close to Prophet Muhammad. He was also close friend to Prophet Muhammad. So when he died finished, there were some people from Fatima, Fatima and Ali. There were some people who were supporting them, and they said that before you can succeed to be an imam, you must come from you must be a direct blood. You must come from direct family from the Prophet. You must be a direct family member of the Prophet, of Prophet Muhammad. And by then, the only person who was direct family member was Ali, her husband. So Fatma was saying that her husband is the old person who qualified because he is from the direct family of Prophet Muhammad. So they are the people that we call, they are the what the Shiites. They are the Shiite Muslims. So many people, some of the people followed them and supported that opinion. And Aisha, some people too were also supporting her, and they too said no, anybody at all that have the qualification to lead the Islam can lead. It is not necessary that you should just come from Muhammad's family before you lead. So his father is also qualified. His father was called Abu Bakr. I said the father name was called Abu Bakr. So his father is qualified to take over the mantle and lead Islam. So they are also called what? That's the Shiites Muslims that we have. Sorry, the Sunnis. So they are the Sunnis. So those that are from the Fatma's line, they are the Shiites, and those that are from ISIS line, they are the Sunnis. So they are the Sunnis. So the Sunnis said no, anybody at all, if you have the qualification, you can uh, you can be an imam and lead them. You know, imam is just the leader, the one who will lead them. Okay, good. So this one, it was a struggle. It was a struggle between these two parties. It was like two parties. ISIS party, that is the Sunnist, and Fatma's party, that is the Shiites. So finally, what happened was that uh, ISIS party won. They succeeded. So they succeeded that. So their opinion was that anybody at all can be an imam, not necessarily direct from Muhammad's family. So they succeeded in making Abu Bakr, her father, the imam. So Abu Bakr was the first imam to succeed Prophet Muhammad. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So Abu Bakr, he succeeded, even though he was not from the family, but because the Sunni said anybody at all who qualify, who have the qualification to lead the Islam can lead. It is not necessary. It is not compulsory that you should come from the direct family of Prophet Muhammad before you lead the Islamic religion. So they were able to succeed. So when they were able to conquer the other opponents, they made Abu Bakr, Isa's father, the first caliph. So he was the first caliph of the Islam, the Islamic religion after the death of Muhammad. Good. So when he died, after the death of Muhammad, after the death of Abu Bakr, they were able to bring another one called Umar, the same from the Sunnis line. So Umar also came from the Sunnis line. So they said anybody at all that qualified, they were not looking at the the direct family like Fatima and the husband Ali's party, Fatima's party. Are you getting it? The Shiite. It is the Shiite. They said you must come from direct. So when Abu Bakr died, a second one came called Umar. So Umar came and also led from the Sunni side. Uh, Umar died, and then they also brought another man also came called Uthman, the third Imam. So you see that the Sunnis, they were able to bring three consecutively, three Imams consecutively. Abu Bakr first, Umar second, Uthman third. So these three, they came consecutively from the Sunni side. So they were able to bring this. So the first three were from the Sunni side. So after the death of Uthman, the third Imam, that was where the Shiites, Fatma's party, Fatma's party. Why I am calling it party, I want it to make it simple so that you'll be able to know what I'm trying to say. So if I say Fatma's party, know that I'm talking of the Shiites, those that said you must be a direct blood, you must come from direct family, a direct family from Prophet Muhammad before you can lead. If I also say ISIS party, I'm talking about the Sunnis, those who said it is not necessary for you to come from direct family before you can lead. Anybody at all who have the qualification can lead. Good. So what I'm saying is that the Sunnis brought the first three consecutively. They were able to bring first three imams consecutively to lead the Islamic religion. So after the death of the third imam, that is the Uthman. So I said the first one Abu Bakr, Umar, the third one was Uthman. So after the death of Uthman, that was where the Shiites, the Fatmas party, they were now able to bring in Ali. So Ali became the fourth Imam. So Ali is the fourth Imam. But to the Shiites, they don't consider the first three to be Imams. They said the first three were not qualified to be Imams. So they just count those three all out. So they start their counting from Ali. So they are counting from Ali. That Ali is the first Imam. So the first three are not. They don't know them to be Imams. So to the Shiites, that is what they believe. So what we are talking about is that so they started their counting from Ali, the fourth. So they say the fourth Ali is the first person because he is the only person who is qualified. So now we are looking at the 12th Imam. Who is the 12th Imam? So starting from Ali till the 12th Imam, there was a man there called Muhammad Al Mahdi. He is the 12th. Now, this is what happened. Let me now give you the story of what happened. His father, that one, it was just a succession coming, a succession. Your because we said that the Siha said what you must be from the family. So if I am the father and I'm the imam, definitely if I am dying, my son will take over. It's just like the kingship of Israel, the way they were doing. I am the father, so I am dying. Let me pass it to my son. My son will take it. If he's also going, he also give it to his son. So it was like that. So the 11th man was also imam. So his son was called the Al Mahdi. The Al Mahdi was also the Imam, that is the 12th Imam. But what happened is that when Al Mahdi's father was alive, he was an Imam. But because of the ongoing struggle between these two parties, the father, they poisoned the father. They poisoned Al Mahdi's father because Al Mahdi's father was the 11th Imam, and then they poisoned him. So when they poisoned him, Al Mahdi was still a child, around 4 or 5 years. So he was still young to take over the mantle, and the father also died. So what would they do? So what happened is that when the father died, when they poisoned the father and then the father died, uh, this Al Mahdi was supposed to be the 12th. He is the 12th, but he was still young to take over the mantle. How can a 4 years boy or 5 years boy lead a religion, lead people? Have you seen? So because of that, a man came called Uthman. I'm not talking of the first Uthman, no, the first Imam who died. No, this one is a different Uthman. So this man came forth because when he died like that, people didn't even know that the man was having a child who is alive. So they thought the man was not having any child again until this man called Uthman came and said, no, the man has a son, and the son is about 4 or 5 years. But because of the ongoing struggle, because of the war, he is keeping the child in chambers. He is hiding the child from people so that the people will not see him, so that they will not do any harm to him. So nobody have ever seen him. It is only him who brought that story out. So the only thing he said is that that child will be the 12th Imam. But the only thing is that he, he Uthman will represent the child. So anything that the 12th Imam want to do, he will bring it out and tell them. But the Imam himself will never come out for people to see him. He will never come out because of what they are doing. So he's in the hidden place. So he is keeping him in the hidden place. He will never come out. But anything that the Imam want to do, he will always bring it out to the people. And what the people want to also say to the Imam, he will also take it in. So he was a representative of the Imam. He then represent the Imam. He was the rep of the Imam. So whatever thing that the Imam want to do, he will come out. The Imam says A B C D and go. So go and do A B C D. We are going to do A B C D. So anything that the people also say, he also take it back. So the question is, actually the man was having a son or not? Nobody knows for sure, because it could be that this man wanted to also succeed the imamship, but because he was not qualified, because if he's not from the family line of Prophet Muhammad, there is no way that the Shiites would have made him an imam. So it could be that he wanted to be an imam, but there wasn't any way. So he used that one as a trick. Or it could also be true that the man was having a son. Nobody knows for sure, but that is what it is. They have believed that the man was having, but no one sees. Good. So what happened is that later on, they said, okay, they are going to choose 4 people, and those 4 people, they were called deputies. So anytime that they will now represent the imam. So the 4 deputies were then the representatives of the imam. So anything that the imam want to say, he would tell the 4 deputies to come and speak to the people. Anything that the people want to say, they will tell the four deputies, and they would take it inside. So it was only these four deputies, they know where the imam was, but nobody knows. So as to whether it was still true that the man was having a son, or it is not true, it was secret between these four people, because they said the man has a son, but nobody has seen him. So he was in the hidden place. So that was where they call it minor occultation. Minor occultation is that it was the period of time where the four deputies were alive. So anytime the imam wants to speak to the people, he will speak to the four deputies, and the four deputies will bring it out. So the Uthman was there, and then they now added three people to the Uthman, and then they were now four. So we know that it was Uthman who said the man has a son, and then he's hiding him. So what they did is that they just chose three people, adding to the that Uthman, and then they were then four. So there were four what deputies. Good. So what happened is that when all these deputies, they were dying, three of them died, leaving the last one, and he too was also closer to die. You know, if you're old, definitely you know that your time is approaching. So he he came up with a letter supposing to be from the imam. Whether it is true that it is from the imam, it is not from the imam, nobody knows for sure. But he came up with a letter, that letter is from the imam. And then the imam was telling them that if the four deputy, the remaining the fourth one, you know, I said by then the three of them had already died, leaving one. So the letter was saying that if the remaining deputy die, the one deputy that is left, if he dies, he will not come out. He will not come out. He will not have any contact with the people again. He is just going to be in the hidden place until the time that God wants him to show himself. So he will never come out for them to see him again, to see him, and he will not have any contact with them until the right time for him to come out. And then if God allows him to come out, and that right time he will now come out for them to see him. Good. So the question is, why is it that when you people were there, he chose you people to be four deputies, and when you people were exiting, why is it not four deputies? Why don't you also choose other four deputies to replace you, so that they will continue to bring the messages from the inner chamber to the people? Why was it not so? It remains a question mark. So it could be that these four people, this Utman, it could be it was a trick. It was a trick to take over the mantle and to reign as an imam, but he wasn't qualified. So he wanted to trick. It could be possible. It could also be that there was a 12th imam. Good. So when he brought the letter like that and read to the people that after he died, that when he died, they shouldn't think of seeing the imam, and he will not have any contact with them. So that is where we call it major occultation. So the major occultation is when the imam don't have contact with his people again, and we are now in this era. So what we are saying is that when the fourth deputy died, and all the four deputies died, the people were then waiting for the 12th imam to come out. So till now, they are still waiting for the 12th imam to come out from the room, because he's still locked up in that chambers. So the 12th imam to the Sihais, they are still waiting for the 12th imam to come out from that hidden place. So he is the one that they believe that he will come back when it is the right time for God to reveal him. God to reveal him, and then he will come back and save the world, because they believe that the well is supposed to be an Islamic continent, sorry, an Islamic well. The well is an Islamic well. So they believe that this is the Messiah coming. So they too, they have end times Messiah that they believe in to come. So the Al-Mahdi, the 12th Imam, is the end times Messiah waiting in the Islamic religion. So they too are also waiting for their Messiah to come. So that is why it is important for us to study, because why we are studying him is that the Antichrist that is coming, he has something to do with this man. So it could be this man that will be the Antichrist. And because these people are looking for their Messiah, the Christians sorry, the nation Israel are also looking for their Messiah, because the church, we already have our Messiah. So these two people are looking for their Messiahs to come. So it could that this man, it is true that he was alive, but we don't know where he is. So if this man appear, he can have that qualities to unite these two controversies between these two, the Arab nation and then these Israelites. Have you seen? It can have that qualities. So this man is also the Messiah waiting in the Islamic eschatology. So they have their eschatology. They are teaching that this Messiah will come and save the world and make it to be an Islamic world, because that's the true legend of the world. That is what they believe. The true legend of the world is an Islamic world. So that is what he is also coming to do. So that is what we mean by that is the 12th Imam. And I said we stated because people are linking it to the Antichrist, that it could be possible. It could be possible that this man can be the Antichrist, because he will be the one that the Muslims will accept him, and then the what the Israelites will also accept him. So as at how he will come, nobody knows, because they are also expecting a Messiah, and then the Israelites are also expecting a Messiah. So they all believe that end time somebody will come. So it could be it is going to be one person, and that will be the Antichrist. It is the Antichrist that will come and say that I am the Messiah, and he'll be the one. So what that's why we said, right, it is only the church they know that he is the Antichrist coming, but the Muslims will say this is the our Messiah. The nation Israel will say this is our Messiah. The other religions will say this is our Messiah. It is only the church that will know that this is the Antichrist. So you see that in the Islamic eschatology, they are teaching that Messiah is coming. In the Israel, if you go to Israel tradition, they're also teaching that their Messiah is coming. But the church, we know that our Messiah has come already, long time. We are now waiting for him to come and take us and go. We are not waiting for salvation again to come and save us. He have already saved us, so we are now waiting for him to come and take us. So this man is likely to be the Antichrist that will be able to unite the world. That's why he's coming in with peace, riding on the white horse. You see that he's coming in because for you to unite these Arab nations, these Muslim nations with Israel, it will be too, unless somebody who has an extraordinary qualities, it will be difficult. That side, those side, look at that side, the way it is disturbing there. So for you to unite it, you must have extraordinary qualities for you to be able to bring that peace there. Good. Thank you for your time. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, share it, and then if you have any comment, put it at the comment section. Any question, put it there. Because here we speak about Bible facts, and then we share ideas, and then the end times events, what will take place in the end time, so that you'll be aware. I will also be aware. We will prepare ourselves and arm ourselves, and we'll know what to do next. Thank you. May the Lord bless you.